I've been trying to fix this camera for an hour now, so I'm gonna look a bit papery because I can't fix it for whatever reason. Hopefully next video it'll be fine, but really not too sure. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's get to season 2 of Stranger Things, which was deemed to be the worst season of Stranger Things ever. Of course there's only 4 seasons, but still the worst one according to the audience. And for now, it is my worst one as well, just because it's nowhere near as good as season 1. This is a continuation of season 1, which I sort of appreciate. I'm glad there's no time skip or anything, but we're introduced to so many new characters, and the complete vibe shift of this season is kind of what ruined it for me. I still really like the season. I think the highs in the season are amazing. Like the final 2 episodes are absolutely peak. The first 5 minutes of this season are absolutely amazing, but man, the whole upside down in this season much better than season 1. I mean, it's unbelievable. This season completely gets rid of like the mysterious vibe, and even they stopped playing a lot with the 80s vibe that they did in season 1, and they kind of just took this more as an actual season. Which is crazy considering this only came out a year after season 1. You think a lot of the stuff would be samey, but no, this feels like a completely not a completely different show, but it feels like a really different show. You don't have a lot of the core 4 dudes working with each other. Of course, the relationships are all scattered around, and Elle is like almost not in this season at all. And when she is, it's a bit rough. And I'll get to that later. And did I mention there's like 5 new characters? You have the Red Power Ranger himself, Dacker Montgomery as Billy, his sister Sadie Sink, oh, his sister Max as or played by Sadie Sink. You have Bob played by Sean Astin. You have 8, who I don't know who plays 8 to be honest, and I'm kind of hoping that doesn't matter moving forward, and I'll get to that later. But yeah, you have all these new characters added, and there's just so much more you have to focus on and pay attention to this season, which kind of ruins it. I really liked the first season how you had Mike, Lucas, Dustin all working with each other, and Elle was with them too, and then you had Steve and uh, Nancy and Jonathan's weird love triangle, which lifted the season very well, season 1, and then Will was almost entirely not in season 1 at all. And then, of course, this season, he's kind of I won't say he's the main guy, but him and someone else I think are like numero uno for like who's getting focus on the season, and I don't really like his character. I don't care for like a lot of the stuff he's doing. I think the giant creature is just fine. It's not cool. It's not creepy, and whatever Will was going through, didn't care too much, unfortunately. And considering that was the pinpoint of this season, it's unfortunate because every episode you're gonna have Will in some capacity, and until the last 2 episodes, I really didn't care for anything that was going on with Will, and I was kind of hoping he was gonna die, even though I knew he wasn't because it's Noah Schnapp and he's in the show in the future, which I've seen uh, throughout the many years I've been on the internet and haven't watched the show. So yeah, that sucked. But really wanted someone to die in the season that wasn't a new character. But it's okay. Hopefully, as the seasons go on, Will gets better for me because as for right now, I don't care for him. Mike also gets sidelined like crazy this season, which sucks because I really liked Mike in season 1 and was hoping he was going to keep being as cool as he was in season 1 in season 2. He sucks. He absolutely sucks. He's crying about Elle most of the season, and when he's not crying about Elle, he's not there at all. A lot of this season focuses on like Lucas and Dustin together, and then Jonathan and Nancy together, and then Elle doing her own thing sometimes, which was rough. But I really wanted more of Mike. I wanted the more 4 of them together, but we didn't get any of it. Hopefully, in season 3 or season 4, we see the six amigos now because it'd be Elle, Max, Will, Mike, Lucas, Dustin, and is that everybody? I don't know. I think it's everybody, and oh, and Elle, and I just want them all together because season 1 we got a lot of them together, but towards the end they were kind of separating, and this season they just weren't together at all. But Dustin's character growth in this season's absolutely phenomenal. I know towards the end, the stuff with Max I didn't really care for. But like the stuff he does when he's alone and not really focused on Max and whatever Lucas is doing is hilarious. Every time he's on screen, he's like swearing at someone and like fucking them off. It's amazing. Dustin as a character was my favorite character this season. I thought he's funny. He's great. I wish he did more. It really sucked that in the Upside Down, his first scene is him, him faking or thinking he has something coming into his body and it's nothing. So that was a shame. But yeah, I really wish Dustin did more because he was hilarious in this season. Lucas was fine. I don't know. The Lucas Max storyline was just okay, and it also included the addition of Billy. I don't like Billy. The only cool thing about Billy is that he's probably gonna bang that dude's mom. Other than that, I don't really care for him. He's another character I just don't care about. Yeah, that was added in this season, and there's more where that came from because Bob is included in this season. And throughout the entire season, I'm thinking Bob is like secretly an evil doctor, and he's gonna screw them over, and he ends up being a good guy and dying. And I'm not kidding. Bob's best scene in this whole season is when he dies. I mean, the Demodogs I really hate. I think they're boring. I think they're dumb. They're not scary. I think they look really bad CGI wise, and the only good scene they look good in too is when they're all murdering Bob. And other than that scene, they both suck. So those are two more additions in this season I didn't like. I also didn't like Max, Sadie Sink's character. I don't know. Maybe I grew too much. I grew to love the original cast so much that all these new people are ruining it for me because they're taking the spotlight away. And I know one of these future seasons, Sadie Sink or Montgomery, one of these two, they're going to be the main focus, and I'm going to hate it so much. But who knows? Maybe at that point, their characters will be uplifted so much that I like it. I don't know. The main stuff I really liked about the season with the characters, Jonathan and Nancy, I love them. I need them more together in future seasons. If they break up or cheat on each other, I don't know. I don't need more relationships being ruined in the show or split apart because I think Jonathan and Nancy as a duo, not only as like a couple, work together so well. I mean that stuff they were doing in the dude's house and they were both like getting up at bed at the same time and they were probably doing stuff afterwards. It was great. I mean the whole episode with them was just fantastic. I love both of them. And Steve is no longer included in this weird love triangle except like a few scenes here and there, but even then he's kind of over it in a weird way, which I like. I like that Steve, like he says, becomes a babysitter, and I hope in future seasons he's just like the the watcher to the party, and it'll make me like Steve way more because in season one I was like, Steve's okay here and there, but he's kind of just getting in the way of ruining this potential good relationship between Jonathan and Nancy, but him as a babysitter will be absolutely amazing. I know season three is probably gonna have a lot of that, so I'm ready for that. As for some other few characters, just to get by them, Elle just sucks. She's just so whatever in this season. She doesn't suck. She just whatever. A lot of the stuff she does on the side is I don't really give a shit about. Her finding her mom and her mom getting like a lobotomy or something was cool, but I also didn't care for it. I thought her and Hopper were gonna be cool with each other this season. She ends up leaving him in like the third episode, which sucked. But yeah, she goes on and does her own thing. She even comes to Chicago, and she meets Eight. And of course, you have the most hated episode in the series, apparently, which I had to Google because I finished the episode and I was like, was this supposed to be after the climax of episode six or the cliffhanger of episode six where the Demodogs are about to attack Steve, Max, Lucas, and Dustin in the bus? That was weird. What a weird placement for an episode. But I will say, Lost Sister, I don't even think it's a bad episode. I think it's probably the worst episode of Stranger Things I've seen so far, but even then, it's just like okay. I don't think it's horrendous. I don't care for Eight and her crew. I hope we don't see them again, and I have a feeling we will, but I really hope we don't because I don't care for them in any capacity. Even though they are in Chicago and everything, I don't care. And I know we're gonna see more. We're gonna see more numbers and numbered people, and I'm not ready for them either because I don't care for these lab experiments. I kind of like that Elle felt like the lone survivor of Hawkins' lab, and now there's just gonna be a shit ton of them. I don't know. Not ready for that. But yeah, Lost Sister, overhated. I think it's okay. The last part of the episode is probably the best. The stuff with her training is garbage, but towards the end, where she goes into the dude's apartment and tries to kill him, and then the escape, where the walls are being thrown up, all that's great. But the moving the train scene sucked. It felt like there was nothing there, and everything in between also just all sucked. You know what? The episode's kind of bad, but it was a bit charming. It was a different vibe from what Stranger Things season 2 actually was. If that was a season 1 episode, it probably would have worked better, but fortunately, it's not. Hopper and Joyce are great in this season. I can't wait for them to be together. I was saying it during the season, and then the final scene of them hugging next to the car. That's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. I don't even need to wait for season 3. It's definitely gonna be a thing where they're together, and I'm so excited because I've been saying it since like episode 4 of season 1 that these two need to be together, and I'm happy it's gonna happen. Um, Hopper kind of gets sidelined as much as Elle because he becomes her caretaker, and then for 2 episodes he's stuck underground. If I remember, what a shame. It's just awful. And then Winona Ryder's great. She's probably top 3 character in the show for me. She's done everything great. She's probably the best mother I've seen in TV history. Everything she does is great, and it's for the love of her son, Will, who I don't like in this season. Did I say that already? I think I did. And I'm happy that she's with him at all times because I needed something with Will in this season to be good, and I'm happy Winona Ryder killed it as Joyce again. No surprise, but I don't know. Season 2 overall, not too bad. I'm just gonna put my score up now because I don't know where to put it, to be honest. But I'm gonna give it like an 8. I think I gave what season 1 a 10. So the vibe shift of this season, Lost Sister, and a bunch of the new characters definitely ruined it for me, but I still like the overall story. I did like the stuff where Lucas, Dustin, and Jonathan and Nancy are trying to solve everything, and then Steve was pretty cool. I'm gonna lower this to a 7. Actually, I'm gonna do it live. I don't really care for this season. It's not bad, but it's just such a fall from grace from season 1, and I just really don't. I just don't appreciate it. It might even get lower as time goes on, and if season 3 and 4 are even better than this, then I don't know. But sidelining Mike and Al and Hopper, and then adding Billy and Max as 2 pretty big roles in this season, and Will, it all just kind of sucked. So hopefully you're here for me for my season 3 review. I don't know what the hell I was talking about in this review, but I was kind of all over the place. A lot of the season focuses so much on these new characters and the separations of everybody, and no one really working together anymore. So yeah, I don't know. That's Stranger Things season 2. I'm sorry I was all over the place. I'm kind of all over the place and whatever, but yeah, see you for season 3 review.